TGR News, broadcasting from the State of Israel.
Welcome back to another TGR episode.
Hello, hello.
Well, this week we're going to talk about Roe versus Wade and how it has directly affected the legislation here in the State of Israel, and also Prime Minister Bennet's retirement from politics in general.
Yeah.
But first, thank you so much. We thank you for the names of all the people that you're helping, and they thank you through us. All the support you're giving to help us feed the people here, the precious people here in the State of Israel who are in desperate need of the help. Every week, as you know, we go and we buy the food, we pack it up, we pass it out, and every week the families are just at awe of just how big your hearts are in the giving to them without even knowing them, not even being in the same country. It touches them and it touches us, and it's just it's a real blessing for everyone involved. Just like God always said, He'd bless those that bless Israel and curse those that curse Israel. So we're all getting blessed, I'm sure, from that. But it's promise from God is a promise from God, and we are doing so much good with your help. So thank you so much. It is an amazing thing every week. It's beautiful. It's just a beautiful thing. We're like we're plans on getting much larger and growing, maybe getting a storage room and be able to start feeding more and more and more. It's all in your hands, and we thank you. And like we always say, if you're not a part of this ministry and you want to be a part of it, underneath of all of our videos, there's links to the Patreon for monthly support and to our support page on the Golden Report. And on that page, on the Golden Report, you can find many different ways, whatever suits you best. So thank you so much, and God bless. Okay, well, let's get started.
Yeah.
The Mossad has already caught over 10 Iranian terrorists in Turkey with weapons with plans to capture and kill Israeli families on holiday. The fact that Iranian cells can move so freely and get weapons tells the story of what side Turkey's on. And it was also Turkish cells, that Turkish agents that were involved in trying to get Israeli families.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, Turkey is also obviously allowing Israel to work inside of its borders. So it's a weird situation, but I think it's just amazing how every time a terrorist cell over there gets close and trying to hurt or harm or do anything to an Israeli family, the Israeli Mossad is able to know it, catch it ahead of time. That just goes to show you how amazing.
The intelligence.
God's on our side. We're getting all the inside information.
Yair Lapid, in his last act as a foreign minister, before he became our prime minister for the next 6 months, he traveled to Turkey and made a speech saying how Turkey is a great friend to the state of Israel. Like we said, it looks like they're cooperating. They give us their intelligence. So we had to say a good word.
Yeah, I guess
on
so.
that.
But you could draw the line somewhere, because there was also Turkish people involved in trying to harm the Israeli families. It's a salad of it's a mess.
Yeah.
But like we said, thank God of the Mossad's, they're able to head it off every time. Benny Gantz, the head of the Blue and White, and Gideon Sa'ar, the head of the New Hope parties, both in our current coalition, by the way, they are trying to pass a law at the last minute that stops anyone running for office if they have any criminal charges. They brought this up before, and now they're just trying to push it through before they're completely out now.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous law. Think about it. It turns the whole politics game into a whole different animal. If a country has a law that if anyone was just charged with a crime, then they're booted out of politics. They can't run for office. then that changes the game. The only thing I got to do is charge you before you charge me with anything, because to be charged just means someone is accusing you.
Yeah.
That's all. So I just got to accuse you of doing something, and boom, that's it. I won the election. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I heard some people call it anti-Bibi
Of
law.
course, it's all about Bibi. Of course, everything's
Benjamin
about Bibi.
Netanyahu, yeah.
Everything's about former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Everything.
And he still didn't been charged. You know, it looks like, by the way, it looks like all the how you say, accusations against him, they're gonna drop them eventually.
Yeah, but he was
one
charged.
by one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Charged,
Press charges,
but he wasn't convicted. And it don't look like he's going to be convicted because, like we talked about many times before, like one of them, one of the big ones is the whole criminal charges around the German, what we bought from Germany, submarines for the Navy. And the Navy officers stood up and testified, saying they don't understand how it could be any kind of under the table dealings, because they did everything. They decided they needed the submarines. The people in charge in the Navy, they decided what submarines. They decided where. They decided how to build them. And the only thing Benjamin Netanyahu had to do as prime minister was sign off on it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. On Saturday night, a goodbye interview with Prime Minister Bennet, I was surprised yet again at just how horrible of a leader he is. Bennet stated that Mansour Abbas, the head of the Arab terrorist supporting party, is a good man and is precisely what Israel needs. He went on to say that Israel does not require a right-wing or left-wing government. We need a no-wing government. You know, it's just him starting to show his true colors, because he can't say anymore he's right wing. Of course, it's just ridiculous. Even though the name of his party is right, as in right wing, right?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Just goes to show you how far he'll go just to try to save his name. And you're saying that Mansour Abbas is precisely what the country really needed, right?
Yeah.
It's
On Monday, Hamas released a statement saying that one of the two Israeli prisoners is deteriorating and could die. These two prisoners have been held by Hamas for the past 8 years. Israeli intelligence is doing what they can to figure out if this is some sort of psychological game, or if it is the true and facts and what's really going on with these prisoners.
Right, they released the video showing him, but that video is just a video.
Mask.
Yeah, who knows what they put in the mask? Maybe it was some kind of laughing gas to get them all doped up or something. You don't know what it is. But one thing that's important to talk about, Israel's always tried to get these two Israeli hostages back, and the two dead soldiers that died in Tzuk Eitan, the war we had 8 years ago with them, and but. It's very important to say, it's not belittling the situation, but it's very important to say that if you don't know it, these two Israeli citizens, they're Bedouin, one's Bedouin, and they both went over by themselves.
Yeah.
They wanted to go to Gaza.
Willing to go inside Gaza.
Yeah, they went to Gaza because they were, was not even still 100% sure what they were trying to prove or say or do, but they did it. It's not like Hamas kidnapped them or anything. But we're still trying to get them back, and we need to get them back, and especially the two soldiers that died in their bodies, if they still have them anyway. So Israel's always working on that in the middle of Hamas always shooting rockets at us, right?
Yeah.
This week, it's the last week for this coalition for Prime Minister Bennet at the helm, before Lapid will be the Prime Minister. They are trying to pass a long list of laws, anything from phone laws to public transportation laws. The common denominator with all these laws is that they're against Jewish law, as Judaism, right? Including what we talked about before, now allowing abortion. Israel, since the beginning of Israel, abortions have been illegal. A woman cannot go and get an abortion. That's the way the state of Israel has always operated. There is a special committee, which is 3 rabbis, that a woman can go and state her case if it's an extreme situation, and then try to get permission to get an abortion. It's but now they don't
Also
have to.
social. It used to be also social worker, and you have to wait. So
It
you
was a
have
whole
time
list
to,
of things.
It's
You had
like
to go to a social worker
yeah.
first, and this, and it was a.
If you marry, it's even worse. You can
Yeah.
you have to prove that you know
Yeah, it's
you cannot support the child and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was a little bit.
It was almost impossible for a woman to get an
hard.
abortion. Almost impossible. It's amazing how America finally looks like it's falling in line, right, and moving the right direction, at least in that area. And Israel is taking a left turn.
Right away, when we heard the news from America, it's like the same day they decided in Israel they're going to change the
I can't understand it. And that's just not, that's the main one, but it's a long list of laws that this government's trying to do, destroying the Jewish part of the state. You know, you can't have the state of Israel without being a Jewish state of Israel. That's the most main ingredient of this state of Israel is the Jewish part. If we lose that, we lose everything. There's nothing left. Might as well go. We might as well all move out of here. Yeah. On Monday in South Iran, an iron plant was under a cyber attack that was able to cause a lot of damage. In the cyber attack, the attackers made sure to use the existing internal security cameras to make video evidence of the damage. Of course, Iran is blaming Israel, and we may not be a part of it because this iron plant is also the metal plant that produces a lot of materials for the nuclear project.
Yeah.
So it's possible it was us, but it was interesting how this time they used the internal security cameras to show the world. Look what we did. Whoever did it, right?
Yeah. On Tuesday, hundreds of Arabs at a construction site got into a violent outbreak. It was over who would get to work at the same site. It was horrible.
It was like a scene out of a movie. You had from up high, tall building. You had them throwing rocks at each other, all the way down, destroying their vehicles.
Cars.
They had a bulldozer. One of the workers driving the bulldozer took the car and flipped another car over to damage the car. One guy in his truck was trying to run over other people. It just went insane till the cops finally had to show up, and they actually had to shoot in the air and everything else just to get them to stop.
When you see hundreds of Arabs, you have to shoot in the air when you see all this. Well, 10 people were injured and 5 being arrested in this case, but
should have been 100 arrested.
Yeah.
The Mossad has made many arrests in Turkey, both Iranian and Turkish cells that were planning to kidnap and kill Jewish tourists. This is an amazing success for the Mossad, just like we talked about before. So it's tens of people they've been able to arrest and stop these situations in Turkey.
Yeah.
And Turkey seems to be the hot spot, even though there are Iranian cells all over the world trying to catch Israeli tourists.
Mm-hmm. On Tuesday night, in the old city of Jerusalem, an Arab terrorist tried to stab a police officer. He was unsuccessful, but after his attempt of killing the officer, he ran into the Temple Mount, where the Mosque of Al-Aqsa is. Like they always do.
Like they always do.
They hide in there.
Hide in their holy mosque on the Temple Mount.
Holy. When they bring rocks inside and start throwing them and throwing, how you say those, no rockets, but zikukim.
Yeah, fireworks.
Fireworks.
Yes.
From the mosque. If it's so holy.
No, I was talking the other day with some friends of ours, and we brought the Al-Aqsa, the whole Temple Mount issue up, and it was a big mistake in 1967 when we finally was able to take back all the old city of Jerusalem and everything, that we did not just go ahead and finish it off and take the Temple Mount. Like we should have. Israel, God promised us, this is the promised land, and it's not, he didn't promise us parts of it. It's very clear what's supposed to be ours.
Yeah.
And we should have just went ahead and took care of that and done it. On Wednesday, Prime Minister Bennet addressed the nation to state that he will be retiring from politics. He will not be running anymore. Now we will have Lapid for a few months. I'm sure he will use the Prime Minister's position as a campaign strategy. There's two very important things there. Number one is, why would anyone waste the time address the nation, stop all the Israeli scheduled programs to say I'm retiring. It's just a bunch of smoke and mirrors. He realizes that's his only move. If he stayed right now, he would lose so much. He probably would lose so much support. He probably wouldn't even pass the minimum you need to get even into the Knesset, right? As a Knesset member, even maybe. So he figured, this is my opinions, by the way, he probably figured that if he left and then come back at a better time with making a lot of big deal about it, maybe he'll get some more, traction back. But right now he realizes he can't do anything. Yeah. But the Lapid part, Yair Lapid, right now he's our foreign minister. He's going to be now our prime minister for the next few months. We talked about this last night. Yeah. We know for a fact, he's in a situation that no leader of a country has ever been in. But, on a normal basis, a leader of a country has his office for 4 years. And so in the last couple months that he's in office, he can't really just start doing a whole bunch of things because it would look ridiculous to try to get elected. Yeah. But when someone just comes in at a few months before the election, he puts him in a unique position where he could seriously use the seat as a strategy for campaigning. He's already trying to fix Bennett's mistakes. Yeah, like finally moving to Jerusalem. Our prime minister of the state of Israel is finally going to live in the capital like Prime Minister Bennet did not do. He stayed at home close to Tel Aviv area. Yeah. He's fixing Bennett's mistake. He'll try to show how good he is. Of course. And it's selfish. It's just selfish. Like Bennett. What Bennett do, retiring, maybe he helped himself so he can come back after a while. Right. But he left his party empty-handed, or how you say that? Yeah, and another person left as well. And Yamina, which is his party that he was the leader of, left. Many people left it, and he decided to leave it for Ayelet Shaked, which I'm not sure she can do. She used to be Likud, but she used to be pretty good, but I don't know what's happened to her. We'll see. Well, like we said today, we had a lot of interesting news, especially the Roe versus Wade, and horrible news. But that's about it for today. You got anything you want to add? No. You gonna say something anyway? No. Okay. Well, we appreciate everything you guys do. Help us feed the people here in Israel and get ready with the boats to save the Jewish lives in the future when needed. We thank you so much. And don't forget to join us on thegoldenreport.com. Until next week. Shabbat shalom. Bye-bye.